We are recording.
Okay, so we'll call the Sign Advisory Council meeting to order at 9 a.m. on January 5th, 2021. As a preliminary matter, this is Chris Young, Chair. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Kevin Kuster.
Here.
Paul Wolf.
He's
Mark.
here.
Okay, Mark
Here.
Catone.
Here.
Ben Norman.
Here.
Okay. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Kathy Flynn.
Present.
Are there any speakers on the agenda that are with us?
There is
Or applicants?
Mike, yeah, someone representing 137 Orange Street. Mike, I forget his last name, from Plymouth Signs.
Okay, Mike, can you hear us?
Mike. I was just talking to him.
Okay. We'll get back to Mike. All right, good morning. This open meeting of the SAC is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we've been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have meetings in publicly accessible physical locations. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with the agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For the meeting, the SAC, sorry, let me turn my ringer off. The SAC is convening by video conference via the Zoom app is posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything you may broadcast can be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. We're now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for the effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I'll introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in conversation with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. After the members have spoken, the chair will afford public comment to those members of the public that have joined the meeting via Zoom. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged by and speak through the chair. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. Okay.
Hello,
So Mark, are you there?
this is Mike from Plymouth Sign.
Oh, okay. Hey, Mike. So
Hi.
yeah, we're just starting the meeting up. So you're not
Okay.
missing anything.
I'm
I'm
up
sorry.
to
I'm moving around here. All right. So do we have a motion to adopt our agenda?
Motion to adopt.
Thank you, Mark. Anybody want to second that?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Ben. Kevin, are you in favor?
All right.
Paul?
I don't know what's happening with Paul's
Okay.
audio.
Let's see if we can carry this by majority. Mark
Aye.
and Ben.
Aye.
Okay, so we've adopted our agenda. Do we want to approve our minutes from 12/22?
Motion to
Motion to
approve.
approve.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Mark, was that a second?
Yes.
Okay, Ben, are you in favor?
Aye.
And Mark,
Aye.
Kevin,
Aye.
and Paul? And I'm in favor. So we'll approve our minutes. All right, is there anybody here for just general public comment, not related to an application?
Mr. Chair, somebody logged on, phone number 508-228-0900. I don't know who that is.
That's
That's
probably
Marine Home
Paul.
Center.
Oh,
That's
so
Marine Home
he's,
Center.
he's twice.
Kathy,
Okay.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm on the phone. I can see you, but I can't get any noise, so I dialed in.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Paul, for the record, do you approve the agenda and our minutes?
Yes, sir.
All right. They're both unanimous.
Okay.
Okay, great. So we're on to the first application on the agenda. Kathy, is anybody online to speak for this?
Yes, Mike from Plymouth Sign is here online.
Okay. Why don't we give the floor to Mike to introduce us to this?
Good morning. Happy New Year. My name is Mike from Plymouth Sign Company, and we're proposing to put two signs over at 137A Orange Street in Nantucket. Rogers and Gray is going in and taking over that building. So we have an existing sign up there now that is 18.5 by 120 inches. We'd like to take that down and put a new sign up for Rogers and Gray, hand carved sign with a nice routed edge, painted letters and background, same size, same location. And then at the entrance, there is an existing bracket, and we would like to hang a two-sided projecting sign, which would be 17 inches by 32. And same thing, hand carved, routed edge, painted background, and copy.
Okay. And 17 by 32, was there an existing sign on that bracket that you're aware of?
No, the bracket's existing, so I'm sure there was at one point, but
Okay.
it's a nice indication, where the entrance is.
Got it. Being a sign in combination, the one thing I can say about that is I believe it's limited to a 2 square foot sign, and 17 by 32 would exceed that size restriction.
Yeah, it would be 3.7. So we would have to reduce that down then, you're saying?
To be in combination with a wall sign, the projecting signs are limited to 2 square feet.
Okay.
So
That's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
But let me open it up to the other members for just general comment. Kevin, do you want to start?
Yeah, I do. I remember when this came in for the Compass Rose sign, and there was quite a bit of discussion about the fact that that location on the Orange Street side didn't meet our guidelines because it was not at or near an entrance. And I think one of the reasons that was allowed to get through is that it was a fairly restrained sign. It was pushed back. It was dark in color. It wasn't quite as strong as what's being proposed today. And I feel like we had this kind of same thing come up downtown when Rogers and Gray put new signs in at their office on Main Street, and I think it helped significantly to use the color scheme that we used on Main Street, which was gold on black. So my recommendation would be that if we go ahead with this, that we use the gold and black for a couple of reasons. Number one, to push it back, down as far as being so bright on the building. And also because I think we've taken some care in this neighborhood, especially with Marine Home, to get their signs to sort of bend a little more from their corporate standards. And I feel like this is such a strict corporate standard that at least by going with the black and gold, we will have kind of softened that approach, made it look a little more historic. And there's precedent for doing this. We do the same thing with Stop and Shop as an example. So my recommendation would be that while it's still block letters and is probably approvable, I'd like to see the color change to black and gold. Those are my comments. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Mark?
I don't know, Kevin, it's going to roll right into 2021 here, but I have to agree with Kevin's comments. I find the proposal a little incongruous with the design of the building, and it's not really a corner condition. The parking's around back, so a sign on that broad face is a little questionable. I think the building can accommodate the sign, but I would like to see it proposed in a different palette, whether it's black and the gold or green and gold. That blue reminds me a little bit of the bright blue that was used at Nantucket Bank that we got some concerns with. So I'd like to see them come back with maybe a more muted proposal and maybe consistent with what they had on Main Street that seemed to be working there. With the reduction of the sign on by the front entrance, hopefully the white area will be reduced because there's an awful lot of white in that layout right now. If it goes dark, that will certainly help as well. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Ben?
Yeah, I think Kevin had it just right. That white background was way too much for me initially, and I think getting it to match what they have on Main Street is the perfect solution there. And I think getting that sign, freestanding sign or the bracketed sign to meet the guidelines is important as well.
Okay, thanks. Paul?
I agree with everything that's been said. But in addition, if they want the blue's the wrong blue.
Okay. Thanks. And Mike, sorry to pile on you here, but I think that
Okay.
right across the street, Marine Home Center is a perfect example where, they maintained their antique quarter board, which was in a non-traditional location, the one that's facing towards town on the, so across the street. And I think that was a good example of how they, bent their corporate intentions to sort of keep the traditional looking sign, and signage in place. So I agree with what I think Kevin hit it on the
Okay.
nose there. So if you could
Okay.
take these under advisement,
Well, I have the authority to do this because what they're moving in at the end of the month. So
Okay.
if I would like to get approval, and I can always throw back some renderings today we can go with the black background and the gold letters on both signs. Okay, we'll reduce the projecting sign down to 2 square feet. And that way the color scheme, the font, everything stays the same as what we did on Main Street.
Okay. And so that would be, instead of a 2-tone text, everything would be gold, you're saying? The border,
Yes.
both Rogers and gray, and the line in between.
Yes, everything would match what is on Main Street now.
Okay. So then that could be submitted to Kathy to be put into the application before it goes to the full board tonight. I think that if we were to get a motion to approve that or recommend approval for that, then we could send that up to tonight's meeting. Does anybody want to?
Chair, if I may.
Yeah.
If you would like to meet, I have this time slots saved for you all every Tuesday at 9. If you want to meet next week to see what he's proposing to ensure that, just a suggestion.
Okay. Well, let me ask, is anybody on the board comfortable, or we can take a vote of this, but does somebody want to make a motion to approve this with the black and gold, this design using black and gold?
I'll make that motion. This is Paul.
Okay, thanks, Paul. Does somebody want to second that?
I would second that.
Okay, so before we vote, is there any discussion on
And
whether we should hold it for next
I
week
would-
or?
I would add to the motion that we, for the projecting sign to comply to the 2-foot square limit as discussed.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion about whether this should be held for us to review again, or do we feel comfortable that this could go to the board tonight if it's submitted?
I have no concerns as with the motion, and I don't know that we have to hold it over necessarily. I don't think there's a meeting tonight, however. Is that correct, Kathy?
Yeah, the meeting's on Thursday, so the signs will be.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess the same holds true, whether we won't meet before the HDC. So does anybody have any concern that this would go to the board if it was resubmitted the way we've requested?
No concerns.
No.
Okay. All right. So let's put it to a vote then. Kevin, we're
Aye.
voting on the motion.
Aye.
And Ben,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
and I as well. So that carries unanimously. So Kathy, that would just go up with your amending the application with their new
Okay,
graphics.
okay,
All right.
thank you.
Oh,
All right.
thank you. So I'm sorry to interrupt. So just so I know, I'm going to submit this morning, a new rendering showing, for the front sign on the building facing Orange Street, black background with a matte background. We'll go with matte background with 23 karat gold leaf, copy and routed edge. And then projecting sign, we're going to reduce it down to 2 square feet. And we're going to keep that also as a matte black background with 23 karat gold leaf and routed edge. So this way I can go back to my client and I can put the sign in production, because it's going to take 3 weeks to produce this. And it's something that, like I said, they're moving in like February 1st, right at the last week of January.
Right.
Is that okay to do that?
That's what we're recommending for approval. The full board meets Thursday, it turns out. So if you could wait till Friday morning, there's very little chance that they would overturn our recommendation, but I wouldn't want you to have a, half carved sign Friday morning that wasn't approved. So that technically you should wait until Friday morning to begin.
Okay. All right. All right. That's great. Thank you for your time. And Kathy, I'll submit that stuff to you this morning. Okay.
Thank you. Perfect.
All right. Thank you. And Kathy, thank you again for all your help getting me on the agenda. I really appreciate you. You did an excellent job. I love working with you, and I just want the board to know what a great job you do. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
We second that motion.
Oh, thank you. Oh, shucks. I'm blushing. now.
All right. So thank you. So I'm going to hang up. Thank you.
All right.
You
thank
are
Mike.
blushing.
High blood pressure. No.
Okay. Was that the only 2 items on the agenda?
That is it.
Okay. Does anybody have any further questions, comments, or concerns?
I'm just happy we are off to such an agreeable start.
Nice job.
Oh,
Good job, Kevin. We couldn't have done it without you this time.
Thank you.
All right.
Motion
So-
to adjourn?
Yes.
All right.
Second.
All right, second.
Bye, guys.
Aye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody in favor. Bye.
Good week, guys.
You too.
Thank you.